Hey guys, Gavin here. So I made a couple edits to the True King Dinosaur deck build, and in this video I'm going to go over some combos and do a new deck profile because I did change some cards around from the last build. But anyways, let's get right into it, and I hope you enjoy. Remember to click like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, to start this first combo, all we need is one copy of Babysaurus and one copy of Dragonic Diagram. So this is the full power combo. And to start, we activate our Dragonic Diagram to pop the Babysaurus in our hand in order to search ourselves a True King Lithosogem from our deck. Now from this point, we are going to use Babysaurus' effect to special summon the Soul Eating Oviraptor from our deck, which we will then use Soul Eating Oviraptor's effect to add another copy of Babysaurus to our hand. From this point, we are going to normal summon the Babysaurus and use Soul Eating Oviraptor's effect to pop the Babysaurus on our field to special summon the other Babysaurus in our graveyard. Now the Babysaurus sits in our graveyard's effect is going to activate, and it's going to special summon us the last copy of Babysaurus. Now from this point, we have two Earth monsters on the field, and we can destroy both of them to special summon True King Lithosogem from our hand. Now at this point, you can go ahead and banish 3 cards from your opponent's extra deck, and once you do that, you are going to make sure that you resolve the Babysaurus in your graveyard. So you have 2 of them, and what you're going to do is you're going to summon Petite Pteranodon off the first one, and Animadorned Archosaur off the second one. Then Animadorned Archosaur's effect is going to activate. You're going to pop the Petite Pteranodon in your hand, and special summon the Miscellaneous Source from your deck, while adding yourself a copy of Caligo Claw Crow from your deck to your hand off of Animadorned Archosaur. So from this point, we can go ahead and link these 2 off and go into our Predaplant Verte Anaconda. And from this point, we can also special summon the Caligo Claw Crow because we have a dark monster on the board, and we can go ahead and banish Miscellaneous Source and the Petite Pteranodon from our graveyard to special summon the Dino Wrestler level 2 tuner from our deck. And now we can go ahead and so if you have a Gizmet Kaku in your hand at this point, you can go ahead and make a Cloud Castle, or you can go ahead and make a Crocodragon or a Trishula from your extra deck, because if you have Gizmet Kaku, you can special summon him and he is a level 9, so you can get these. You don't need to special summon the Lithosogem from your graveyard. So in our case, we're going to special summon Cloud Castle though. So once we special summon Cloud Castle, we can go ahead and use Cloud Castle's effect to revive the True King Lithosogem from our graveyard, and go ahead and overlay those 2 and special summon Calamities. At this point, we are going to finish off our combo by activating Predaplant Verte Anaconda's effect and pitch the Red Eyes Fusion, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes Black Dragon from our deck to the graveyard to special summon our copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So that's it for the first combo. It's a pretty strong board going into your second turn, or your opponent's turn, because you can use True King of All Calamities effect. You have 3 cards in your hand, so you can fuel Red Eyes Dark Dragoon's negation effect, and next turn you can go ahead and try and OTK your opponent from there. So without any further ado, let's go into the next combo. Okay, for this next combo, I'm going to show you how to go off with Babysaurus and Miscellaneous Source. So what you're going to do is you're going to dump the Miscellaneous Source with its own effect and banish it from the graveyard. And the one you're going to special summon is the Animadorned Archosaur. Then you're going to use Animadorned Archosaur's effect to destroy the Babysaurus in your hand and add you a copy of Double Evolution Pill from your deck to your hand. Now from this point, you are going to use Babysaurus' effect to special summon the Soul Eating Oviraptor from your deck and use Soul Eating Oviraptor's effect to add Baby Ceratosaurus to your hand. Now you're going to go ahead and normal summon that Baby Ceratosaurus, use Soul Eating Oviraptor's effect to pop that Baby Ceratosaurus, and special summon the other Baby Ceratosaurus, and use this Baby Ceratosaurus in your graveyard to special summon Giant Rex. From here, you're going to go ahead and link off the Animadorned Archosaur into Link Karibo, and then you are going to link these two off into your Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Now from here, you can go ahead and activate the double Evo pill, banishing the Giant Rex and the Link Karibo from your graveyard to special summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And now we can use Giant Rex's effect because we banish him and special summon him. From here we go overlay the Giant Rex and Soul Eating Oviraptor into one of our Evil Zors, so that can be either Dolka or Lagia, depending on which one fits what you think you're playing against. But for now we are going to just put Dolka on board. And to finish off from here, we are going to use Predaplant Verte Anaconda's effect to pitch the Red Eyes Fusion, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes Black Dragon from our deck to the graveyard, and go ahead and special summon our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So now going into our opponent's turn, we have 3 cards in our hand. We have Ultimate Conductor Tyranno's Disruption effect, so we can destroy the Baby Ceratosaurus on our field to flip our opponent's monsters face down, and summon a Soul Eating Oviraptor so we can grab whatever we want from our deck to our hand using his effect. We have the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon's effect, which can be fueled by one of these cards in our hand. We just discard one to negate one, and we have a non-once per turn and non-once per chain negate with Dolka, or in the other case Lagia. So this is a super strong board going into our opponent's turn as well. It does not have True King of all Calamities, but it does have some nice disruptions and negations. So that's it for the second combo. Let's do one more before we call it. Okay, for this combo, I'm going to show you how to go off with Soul Eating Oviraptor and Lost World. So to start, we are going to activate the Lost World. Make sure to do that first. And then we are going to normal summon our Soul Eating Oviraptor. And then we're going to chain our Soul Eating Oviraptor's effect, followed by Lost World, to give our opponent a token, and use Soul Eating Oviraptor's effect to search our deck for a dinosaur monster. And the one we are going to choose is the Miscellaneousaurus. Next, we are going to send the Miscellaneousaurus to the grave using its own effect, and we are going to use Soul Eating Oviraptor's effect to attempt to pop this token. But then we are going to use Lost World's effect to destroy a dinosaur monster from our deck instead, and the one we are going to choose is the Baby Ceratosaurus. So now Baby Ceratosaurus' effect is going to trigger, and we are going to special summon another copy of Baby Ceratosaurus. Now with our Miskin Grave, we're going to banish it by itself, and we are going to special summon from our deck the Animadorned Archosaur. Now we're going to use Animadorned Archosaur's effect to pop the Baby Ceratosaurus in order to search from our deck a Caligo Claw Crow. We can use the Baby's effect to special summon a Miscellaneousaurus from our deck, and now we can go ahead and special summon the Caligo Claw Crow. And what we can do from here is we can go ahead and link into Anaconda, and then link these two into IP Masquerena. Now we can go ahead and use the Anaconda effect to pitch Red Eyes Fusion, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes Black Dragon to the graveyard, and bring out our copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Now, going into our opponent's turn, they cannot target our monsters on the field because they have this token and Lost World is up. We have the negate from Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. We have 3 cards in hand, and we can go ahead and link these off into Apollosa if we so choose, or into, say, a Nightmare Unicorn. So that's it for the last combo for the video. Okay, so now that we're finished with the combos, we're going to go into the deck profile for this build. Okay, to start we play 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor, as well as 3 copies of Miscellaneousaurus. So Soul Eating Oviraptor is very strong because he can search your deck for a dinosaur monster, or he can pitch one to the graveyard, and he also has the effect where he can pop a dinosaur monster on your field and special summon one from your graveyard. So he's very strong, he's a very good starter, and especially when he's paired with Miscellaneousaurus. So Miscellaneousaurus can send itself to the graveyard from your hand to protect all of your dinosaur monsters this main phase from your opponent's card effects. And he also has the effect where he can banish himself and any number of dinosaur monsters in your graveyard to special summon a dinosaur monster from your deck whose level is equal to the number of banished dinosaur monsters. So those cards are really strong and the real bread and butter of the deck. Next we play 1 copy of Animadorned Archosaur, 3 copies of Baby Ceratosaurus, 1 copy of Petite Pteranodon. So Animadorned Archosaur is a really strong addition to this deck from Eternity Code, and basically when he's summoned, he can pop a dinosaur monster in your hand to add a reptile, winged beast, or sea serpent monster from your deck whose level is equal to the dinosaur monster that you just popped, or he can just add a evolution pill spell from your deck to your hand. And the babies, basically when they are destroyed by a card effect, they get to special summon a dinosaur monster from your deck. So Baby Ceratosaurus is level 4 or lower dinosaur monsters that it can special summon, and Petite Pteranodon is level 4 or higher dinosaur monsters that it can special summon. So we like the Baby Ceratosaurus a lot more, and that's why we played at 3, but Petite Pteranodon can also be useful. Next we play 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. This card is decent going first because he has the effect where he can pop a monster on the field or in the hand and flip all your opponent's monsters face down. So if you make him going first and going into your opponent's turn, you can use that effect to flip their monsters face down as a disruption so they can't use those monsters as link materials. But more importantly, going second, this card is an OTK machine because he can attack your opponent's monsters once each. And if he attacks a defense position monster, he can just straight up send it to the graveyard and inflict 1,000 points of damage. He's also very easy to special summon because he just requires to banish 2 dinosaur monsters from your graveyard. Then we play Giant Rex, single copy, Dracaeolo, Caligo Clawcrow, and Dino Wrestler Coelasalot, I believe is how you pronounce it. I don't know. It's a very difficult one to pronounce. But basically, Giant Rex is a recursion tool, so when he gets banished, he can special summon himself. So he gets this deck likes to banish a lot, so he can recur himself every turn and be used as material, and he's also a decent body. Dracaeolo is the only level 1 dinosaur tuner monster in existence, so we like to summon him off of Miscellaneousaurus sometimes. Caligo Clawcrow is a nice addition in this deck because I like to search him off of Animadorned Archosaur sometimes, and he can special summon himself when you have a dark monster on the field, and Soul Eating Oviraptor is in fact a dark monster, so he's a free special summon that way. And Dino Wrestler Coelasalot, if you have no monsters on the board, he's a free special summon, but more importantly, he's a level 2 dinosaur tuner. Sometimes you special summon him off of the Miscellaneousaurus, but he can help you along with Caligo Clawcrow to, instead of going into a level 9 synchro by doing a 4-4-1 lineup, you can do a 4-2-2-1 lineup. So he's your tuner, and you have this guy along with Animadorned Archosaur and a level 4, and to go into a level 9. And Ravenous Crocosaur is really nice when you have a lot of tuner monsters, or a lot of non-tuner monsters, because he draws you more cards. So in that case, he would draw you 3 cards instead of 2. Next we play 1 copy of Pancratops. So you can also use the level 2 dinosaur tuner monster along with this guy to make a level 9 synchro in a pinch, but he's also just really good going second because he can just special summon himself if your opponent has more monsters than you, and he's a 2-for-1 because he can attack over something and then pop himself and pop something else on the field. So really strong card. Next for our level 9s, we play 1 Earth True King, 1 Fire True King, 2 Gizmekakus. So the Earth True King is really good because if you have 2 Earth monsters either on the field or in your hand, you can use his effect to pop those 2 Earth monsters, special summon himself, and you get to banish 3 from your opponent's extra deck. The Fire True King's not as good, but sometimes we use him. I don't know, I don't really like him, but he's pretty necessary to run because we need something to search off of Dragonic Diagram in case we draw Lithosgem or something like that. So yeah, he's alright, and you can special summon him because this deck does play fire monsters like the Gizmekaku, but it also plays like Miscellaneousaurus and Dracaiolo. So yeah, he's okay. Gizmekaku is really nice because if there's a monster in the extra monster zone, he special summons him. You can special summon him, and if it's your bonus monster, you're probably going to want to steal it too because he also has the effect where he can equip that monster in the extra monster zone to himself. So yeah, he's really nice because if you have a level 9 Synchro in the extra monster zone, you can go ahead and special summon him and make calamities that way. Then we play 2 copies of Gizmekarochi. So basically, sometimes you just want to go and banish the Miscellaneousaurus by himself, and then summon out the Dracaiolo, and then use this guy's effect to special summon a level 9 Synchro. Or special summon himself, so you can go into a level 9 Synchro and make calamities that way. Other than that, he's a free special summon, or not really free because you have to banish 8 off the top of your deck, but he can special summon himself from your hand or the graveyard. So yeah, not a bad card, but also not super necessary for this deck. Then we play our Dragoon package because we do play Dragoon, so we play these 3 bricks. They're not great on their own, but Dragoon's a really, really strong card, and I really like to make him along with Calamities, so yeah, that's why we play this set. And lastly, we play 3 hand traps. So I chose Ash here, but honestly these could be impermanents, and they could be a lot of different things. I don't know exactly what they should be, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw the ashes in here because we like to have some more disruption on our opponent's turn. And they're also good because if you have double evolution pill and you have one of these in your graveyard, you can just go ahead and banish one of these things. So yeah, that's it for the main monsters, or the monsters in the main deck. Let's go into the spells. Okay, for the spells, we're going to start with triple copies of Fossil Dig because this card is a super strong searcher that also isn't limited. It gets you a level 6 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck into your hand, so it's really strong. No reason not to play that one at 3. 1 copy of Diagram, 2 copies of Lost World, 1 copy of Mystic Mine, and 1 copy of Terraforming, 1 copy of Set Rotation. So these are your field spell package. So basically we play the Diagram because if we open Diagram and a baby, we have full combo. If we have Lost World, we can use that to give our opponent a token so they can't target our dinosaur monsters, and we can use it to combo with Soul Eating Oviraptor. We have the Mystic Mine because Set Rotation works really well when we have more than 2 different field spells in our deck. So if you draw badly or just in a pinch, you can use Set Rotation to give yourself Mystic Mine and basically stall out until you can fix your situation. And then the Terraforming is in there because we like to have more ways to get to Dragonic Diagram. Set Rotation also gets you to Dragonic Diagram if you're going first. So yeah, I like these field spells, and I think they're pretty flexible in what they can do. To round it off, we play the Double Evolution Pill, Foolish Burial, and 1 for 1. So Double Evolution Pill is a search off of Animadorned Archosaur, and it gets you one of your Tyrannos out from your deck. It's a super strong card. Foolish Burial basically just pitches something from your deck into the graveyard, so that's going to be your Miscellaneousaurus if you need it. It could be Giant Rex, or it could be Gizmekarochi. And 1 for 1 basically just helps you get out your Animadorned Archosaur as well. Or it can get out your Dracaiolo if you need it. But yeah, that's it for the main deck. let's go into the extra deck. Okay, to start, for our Link monsters, we play one Link Karibo. So Link Karibo is good because he gets a level 1 dinosaur monster off the field, and he also gets you a non-dinosaur monster into your graveyard, so you can go ahead and use your double evolution pill once you link him off and he's in the graveyard. So that's why I play him. We play the one copy of Anaconda for our Dragoon engine. One copy of Pentastag, basically for when you go second and you need to pierce through a bunch of low defense stuff, you just make Tyranno under this guy and Tyranno pierces and you can win the game that way. One Phoenix and one Unicorn for removal, just generic removal. Pretty solid cards, and they also pair really well with IP Masquerena, Appaloosa, because Appaloosa is good negations, and IP Masquerena you can use to link summon during your opponent's turn to link off a Anaconda, because after you summon Anaconda and you special summon Dragoon, you can't further your special summoning plays, so it's good to have IP Masquerena to maybe go into Appaloosa to get a couple extra negates. For your synchros, we play the Ravenous Crocodragon, Cloud Castle, and Trish. So Crocodragon's good because if you make him, you get to draw some extra cards, and he can also discard 2 to pop something on the field. So if you have some discard fodder in your hand, you can go ahead and pop a baby on your field if you have one, and special summon something that way. Cloud Castle's good because if you have a level 9 in the grave, you make Cloud Castle, you resurrect level 9, and you make True King of all Calamities. And Trishula is nice, especially going second, because you can banish one from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard. So we like to do that. And Trishula, it's worth mentioning that Trishula is very good for getting over problematic monsters because its banishing is non-targeting, and not a lot of things have non-targeting banish protection. So yeah, it's good for outing difficult monsters. For the Ixies, we play one Lagia, one Dolka, one Dugares, and one True King of all Calamities. So basically these are solid negates that you can make very easily in this deck. So Lagia is a summon or spell and trap negate, and Dolka is monster effect negations. Dolka is not a once per turn, and it's not even a once per chain, so you can use this to negate 2 effects in the same chain, which is super strong. Dugares is for giving your Tyranno a little bit of an extra boost because he can double your Tyranno's attack if you need to. He can draw you 2 cards, or he can special summon something from the graveyard. It is worth mentioning that he really limits your next turn in some way. By using any of those effects, you get a pretty severe restriction on your next turn, so you should definitely be trying to win the game the turn you use this effect. And True King of all Calamities is just a super broken level 9 that stops your opponent from playing the game. So you just make this guy and detach one from him during the standby phase or whenever you want during your opponent's turn, and he stops your opponent from playing the game. So that's it for the Ixies. And lastly, we play the one Dragoon. Dragoon, just really strong card, Omni negate, and he pops stuff on your turn. So you can just pop 2 monsters of your opponents on your turn if you're going second, or it's your second turn. So yeah, just really strong card, and I really like having him on the board in conjunction with Calamities. So that's it for the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the deck profile. If you want to see more content, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and I really appreciate you. And with that, I'm just going to leave you with a have a nice day and a peace out.